What is the crack, guys? Hope you're all well. This is Finding Yourself, the podcast series dedicated to movie, TV, sports, and gaming. I'm your host, Cal Duffy, and in today's video, it's a part 2 of a previous video I posted up where I talked about different movies and TV shows that I both loved and hated in 2021. If you haven't checked that video out yet, it's available up on my YouTube channel. I talk about Dope Sick, the miniseries up on Disney Plus, how much I loved binge watching it, and I also touched on a movie I saw in the cinema, which was Halloween Kills. So again, if you haven't seen that video, go and watch it right now. It's up on my YouTube. In this video, I want to touch on F is for Family, a TV series that I loved from start to finish. Was very sad to see it come to an end this year, but happy that it existed. Happy that I got the perfect ending as a fan, and very grateful as a fan that I had no qualms over the way it was ended. I had nothing bad to say about the finale. I thought it finished up very well. It was a very natural ending to the show, and I want to talk a bit about that and my appreciation for the show. I also want to discuss another movie I found underwhelming in 2021. One that was, I think, highly anticipated, but in my opinion just didn't hit the mark, which is Venom 2. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Let's get into it. First things first, let's discuss Venom 2. And to discuss Venom 2, I need to go back to the original movie. I found Venom completely underwhelming as well. I couldn't get into the storyline. I felt Tom Hardy was very off in the role, and I think the casting process for Venom was rushed. I think Tom Hardy is still in a stint of acting where he's very popular, he's very mainstream, he's very charismatic still as an actor. You know, he was in Peaky Blinders, he was excellent in that. He's been in several other movies where he's kind of let his real charisma show as an actor and his real talent show as an actor. But I think they just rushed the casting of Eddie Brock in this movie, and they just picked Tom Holland because, again, he is mainstream right now. He is so popular. There's no way casting him is going to go wrong. But in my opinion, it has gone completely wrong in casting Tom Holland, because upon promoting the film and doing interviews around Venom in 2018, Tom Holland actually disclosed that he had no clue about this character from the comics. He didn't know what Venom was, who he was in the comics, how he was related to Spider-Man or anything like that. He had no clue about the origin stories of the character, and he knew very little about this movie and the script going into it. And I'm pretty sure he stated in an interview, I don't know if it was on Graham Norton or whether it was on a press release tour and an interview promoting the movie, but I'm pretty sure he said that his only motivator in taking this role was that his son was a huge fan of the comics and Venom as a character. But to take a role you know nothing about simply because your son is a fan of it, it's sweet, don't get me wrong. I think some actors have done that in the past, but I don't think Tom Holland helped himself or this movie by accepting this role based on that one reason. And don't get me wrong, I love Tom Holland and his work. His role in Peaky Blinders as Alfie is amazing. I think he's such a great actor, and his work in movies like The Revenant and Legend are so outstanding. But I felt he missed the mark with this performance. I don't know if it's just his fault, if it's just up to miscasting, or whether the script played a part and the writing in this movie, but I just felt there was so many missed opportunities to make this movie great. You had a very unique concept. Obviously, Venom is a very beloved character in the comic books, and it's a very interesting story. You know, it's an alien parasite taking over your body, and you're basically infested by an alien parasite. Such a good concept for a movie, and the CGI effects are great in it. That part is there. It is a very slick looking movie at times and a very beautiful looking movie with the effects on display, but things were missing. Also, the chemistry between the actors wasn't there for me. I like Michelle Williams as an actress. She's very good, very talented, but her alongside Tom Hardy, they didn't mesh. It didn't work for me. Too much in this movie franchise did not work. And again, this is my opinion, but I felt miscasting was a big problem in this movie. And that just bleeds into Venom 2. I think in Venom 2, they do improve on the first movie. There is a bit more funny scenes between Venom and Eddie Brock. Tom Hardy does bring a bit more funny to this movie, and it's a bit more chilled out. It doesn't take itself as serious. And there was a few scenes near the end where I thought, okay, they've gotten this right. But the movie, in my opinion, Venom 2, doesn't get good until there's like half an hour left, which is a big problem. And most of the movie is just exposition and building up one character in particular who was played by Woody Harrelson, who tried his best in this movie. But I just thought, again, watching Venom 2, Tom Hardy did not feel at home in this role. I just felt he couldn't get to terms with the character and really make it his own. It felt very obvious that Tom Hardy was acting in this movie, and I know that sounds stupid, but the best way I can describe it is if you've ever seen other Tom Hardy movies, like The Revenant, Legend, The Dark Knight Rises, and Warrior, he fades away into those roles. You see him as that character. You believe him as that character. I did not believe him as Eddie Brock. He didn't seem at home in the skin of this character. And I think that's a big reason why this movie suffered, in my eyes anyway. I'd love to know your thoughts on Venom 2. What did you think of Tom Hardy's performance? Did you enjoy it? Did you find it entertaining? Did you have any pet peeves or issues with the movie? I'd love to know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. Next, I'd like to move on and talk about the animated series F is for Family, which is available to view up on Netflix. There's 5 seasons and the final season was released this year. The creator Bill Burr did such a good job with this show. I wasn't expecting it. I honestly wasn't. I've watched Bill Burr for a long time now. I've listened to his podcast online and I followed his stand-up for quite a while. And when I saw all the promos around F is for Family and I saw that trailer for the first time, I was so excited because Bill Burr really has a lot of content and material in his podcast and in his stand-up about his childhood, about his relationship with his father, and about growing up with a father who was distant, I suppose. And he did put a lot of effort into this show. I don't know if he was planning on being a voice actor on the show initially, but I'm so glad that he was, because he got to keep his influence on the show throughout the seasons. And I don't think anyone could imagine, any fan anyway, could imagine anyone voicing Frank Murphy except Bill Burr. It just works. And speaking of the voice actors on the show, it's such a talented cast. Again, I think I've talked previously about the cast on this show. You have Laura Dern from Jurassic Park, very talented actress. Justin Long, very underrated in my opinion. And the most underrated of all, Sam Rockwell. Such a talented actor. His role in Seven Psychopaths, love that movie. Moon, such a great movie as well. So really, really big fan of the casting in this show. And the content and the material in the show, you don't expect it, because animated shows, you expect them to be stupid, nonsensical, and you expect to turn your brain off for 30 minutes while you watch. But this kind of hits the same energy as BoJack Horseman. Very real life mental health issues that come at you in a different way than BoJack Horseman, but still hits the same kind of issues of abandonment, of abuse, psychological abuse growing up, and anger issues as an adult, and detachment as an adult as well, and about getting stuck in a job from 9 to 5 that you're not happy with, and getting stuck in a life that you weren't prepared for. That's a big theme in this show with Frank Murphy. He's stuck in a life that he didn't plan, but he's in it now, so he's just kind of trudging his way through life. And that comes with anger issues, and anger at his family, at himself, at where he is, about his father and their relationship. There's just so many layers to the show, and I hope that you love this show as much as I do. If you've watched it all the way through, I'd love to know your thoughts on it. What did you think of the finale? That's my big question. I personally love the ending of this show. Every character stayed true to themselves right until the end, and the writing in the show honoured the structure and the outline they had cemented since the first season. There was no hallmark ending. Frank Murphy didn't get an I love you or have any big realizations about his dad. It was realistic. I'd love to know your thoughts on this show. I'd love to know your opinions on the ending. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Let me know in the comments below. Again, I can't recommend this show enough. If you haven't seen it yet, give it a go. It's up on Netflix. There's 5 seasons to view. Obviously, season 5 is its last, but don't let that stop you. And let me know what you think of it if you have seen it in the comments below. This is where I'm going to end this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. And if you did, you can always subscribe to my YouTube channel for more content and give me a thumbs up on the video. This has been Finding Yourself with Kyle Duffy. Thanks for listening.